Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this lecture. In this lecture, I am going to discuss 4x2 encoder. In my previous lecture, I have already discussed the introductory part of encoder as well as decoder. So let's begin the discussion. Encoders, as I have already told you, they have some 2 to the power n number of lines as input and they generate n number of lines as output. So if it is the encoder 4x2, it will be having 4 input lines and 2 output lines. So the input lines we can draw like this, and there are output lines like, so these are the output lines, right? Now these inputs, if we named as like I0, I1, I2, I3, so these are the inputs. In the outputs we can name like Y0 and Y1. Okay, right? So if this is the situation, this encoder, in case any of these input is high, let's say I0 is high, then these output will represent this 0 and 0 will be represented as 0 0. So let's draw the truth table and try to find out how this encoder will work. So because there are 4 inputs, I0, I1, I2 and I3, all we will write. So let's say this is input I, you can say let's say I3, I2, I1, and here I am representing I0. And there are 2 outputs, so we can have 2 output like this, Y1 and let's say Y0. Okay, now here you feel like value. So if initially I consider I0 is 1, this is high and rest of the inputs are low, in that case if I0, these Y1 and Y0 will represent 0, so 0 will be represented as 0 0, right? Now in case I1 is high, so this will be high and rest of the inputs are low. 1 will be represented as 0 1, so this Y0 will be high and Y1 will be 0. In binary, I guess you know that, right? So we represent 1 as 0 1, right? Now in case I2 is high and rest of the inputs are low, then we represent 2, so it will give you 1 0. 1 0 represents 2 and second input is high, so it will give output as 1 0. And let's say I3 is high like this and rest of the inputs are low. So in that case, both Y1 and Y0 will be high and it will be 1, right? Now if we want to write the Boolean expression for Y0 and Y1, this Y0 can be written as Y0 is having high value at 2 places. So if you write it, it will be like I3 bar, because I3 is 0, I2 bar, I2 is also 0, and this I1 is high, so I1, and this I0 is also 0, so I0 bar plus, there's another, so this is I3, then I2 bar, then I1 bar, then I0 bar. Now there are only two terms because two ones were there. If you try to find out the common in this, I2 bar is present in both the terms and I0 bar is also present in both the terms. So let's say I2 bar and I0 bar, if we are taking common, then here we will left with I3 bar, I1, or I3, I1 bar. So this will give us I2 bar, I0 bar, and this is the expression of XOR. So we can say I3 XOR I1. Okay. So this is the expression for Y0. Now let's write the expression for Y1. So let's say we write the Boolean expression for Y1, and Y1 is high at these two places. So this is and this is. For this, we can write it like so this is I3 bar. We are first writing for this place. Then I2, because I2 is high here. Then I1 bar. Then I0 bar. Or it is I3 because I3 is high. Then I2 bar, I1 bar, and I0 bar. Right? Now when we solve this, we can get common as I1 bar and I0 bar. So here we will get I3 bar, I2 plus I3, I2 bar, and I1 bar and I0 bar are common. So this represents I3 bar XOR I2, not bar actually. This is I3 XOR I2, right? So this is I3 XOR I2 dot I1 bar I0 bar. So this is the Boolean expression for Y1, and this is the Boolean expression for Y0, right? Similar thing we can write for 8 cross 3 encoder also. In 8 cross 3 there will be 8 inputs and there will be 3 output. So when we represent the very I0 input is high, it will get value 1, then all 3 outputs will be 0. I hope you are getting right. So you can take it as assignment. You need to draw the truth table and you need to find out the Boolean expression for all the output lines for 8 cross 3 encoder, right? So I am ending this lecture. Thank you everyone for connecting.